Shravanamangalam Srimadatam Bhavinanti Buridajana. Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. The Master and Vijay Goswami. We are on page 179. The Master. He is talking to a group of devotees. They're called Marwari devotees. These people are from one area of India, northwestern India, called Marwar. They were generally businessmen. They are generally businessmen, and very successful businessmen. They are like the Jews of business in businesses. A Marwari devotee. So, what is the way? So the Master says, give it to her then. 179. In the middle of this 179. There are two ways, the Master says. One is the path of discrimination, the other that of love. Yeah.
There's two ways.
There are two ways, either this side or that side. So then he discrimination means to know the distinction between the real and the unreal. He continues explaining what God alone is real and permanent substance. All else is illusory and impermanent. The magician alone is real. His magic is illusory. This is discrimination, discernment. It's a viveka, the path of separating things. And when he says there are two ways, one is the path of discernment. One tries to kind of separate things from down to its simplest components. You have a book. Oh yes, it's a book. Really, it's a book. Well, you can start now this book. Well, it's paper and board and this and ink and keep on separating. And finally you'll come to something which does not exist at all in the sense of this. So that is one path, and the other path is that of devotion, bhakti. So he's speaking of Jnana Yoga and Bhakti Yoga.
One is Aristotelian.
One is?
Aristotelian, take it down into...
Yeah, take it down and down and down to the final, you can say. It's like, then he comes down to the prime mover. And what moves the mover? No, you cannot ask that question. It's like something like, we have something called a Big Bang. It's the starting point of everything. Really? There was no bang actually. And it wasn't big only. It started with a point of singularity or kind of whatever. Infinitely dense point. Something started, some fluctuation started, quantum fluctuation. But there was no bang. When we say bang, oh, it's like a grenade going off or a kind of a dynamite going off and boom, heat and light and pressure. There wasn't there. Because there was no other material first outside itself. Because space did not exist. So anyway, so when you come down, you ask, what is the Big Bang? There is a Big Bang? No, there was no bang, and it wasn't big at all. Then there wasn't sound. How can there be sound? There wasn't sound at all. But it has gone into a head. Yeah, there's something. Yeah. So, so, what do you discriminate? Like, he doesn't give it here, but in other places, discriminate things in your body. What is the body made of? Find it out. Bone, flesh, fat, this, that, and brain, and then so okay, then we come down lower to cells, and then from cells, and you can say one cell, some types of cells divide and become this, and some types of cells become this, and this, and that. And then you discriminate about the mind, discern about the mind. What is the mind? So you keep on, it's not only just kind of a daydreaming sort of thinking. Oh, it's like this, so it's like that. No. Behind that discernment is the will. If you say this does not exist at all, that person is going to see it as he or she thinks it. They've come down to the fundamental atoms and whatever. He or she will be able to see this as atoms and etc. etc. He will no longer see it as a book. So that is what generally. God alone is real and the whole thing is illusory. But this illusion doesn't go only. It looks like a permanent thing here. And this is important because whatever comes like through the senses in the mind, that also needs to be kind of studied, analyzed, broken down to its fundamental components, and go down deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. It's like this world is there, and people said, yeah, but it's kind of what is made of? It's kind of small particles, and what are small particles made of? Smaller particles, and smaller particles, and what Aristotle says as fundamental. They can atoms where it cannot be further broken down. But now we know how we can break even the atoms. So going down further. So it was there amongst the ancient Greeks and also amongst the ancient Indians. They knew these things. One thing is appearing as this. How it has happened? It is because of combining those small particles. The combination. This is a Sankhya philosophy and everything. This thing is an evolution of that thing. Slowly it has kind of aggregated. Certain materials have aggregated and transformed over time. Time affects. So slowly, this whole thing. And this evolution of matter and evolution of species was known long time back. Satkaryavad, it's called. So this thing was known. So even if you can take a kind of evolutionary kind of view of things, oh, this is here, these species are here, let's go back and see. And that's what all these scientists are doing. Going back. And where's it going to lead? Oh, you're going to go to the apes. Yeah, we have branched, we have come to that branch, and we go back down deeper and deeper and deeper, and we find, well, what have we come from? Yeah. This is the path of knowledge. Why the path of knowledge? Because it wants to break what you see. What you see is that God alone is real, is a real substance. All else is illusion. So this guy is out to break all illusion. And the illusions start with you, the body, and you, the mind, and you, the individuality. What is this individuality? Yeah, try to kind of find it, and you will find there's no individuality. The individuality itself is a kind of a illusion. You, me, and everything are part of the whole. Why? How come you are thinking of yourself as separate and individual and all these things? So, this is the path, and it should be noted that it's meant only for the few. Amongst all the direct disciples of Sri Ramakrishna, only Swami Vivekananda was competent, capable of pursuing this path. All the others were taught meditation and devotion and this and that. The path of gradual ascendancy. That's why Sri Ramakrishna used to call Swami Vivekananda, is like he has a sword of knowledge always around him, cutting to pieces this Maya, whatever comes. So when our minds are trained, the intellect is trained to think in that line, then you are competent. A thought comes and it's memory, old memory, and you get frightened. Oh, that's trauma. What trauma? What kind of frightened you of that memory? Memories? You're frightened of your memories? Why? It's just a kind of old illusions. They are kind of those experiences coming out. They have no substance. But we react and then we are caught. And we have something called a post-traumatic stress disorder. We are all suffering from post-traumatic stress disorders. Certain things we've done, we have not let them go. We are still holding on to that. There's a story of an ancient story that it was ascribed to Buddha, but then you have it in many traditions. There were two monks crossing a river, and as they're fording the river, they seen a woman being swept. One of the monks was Buddha, and probably it was his chief disciple Ananda. So what Buddha did was he saved her, he held her, and he brought her back to the bank. So now this was a problem. So this other monk says, "Hey, you touched that woman, you carried her on. That's not right. A monk should not do that." And he kept on pestering until they reached the monastery. So he's saying, "Listen, I left that woman at the river bank. You have brought her here." So that's the idea. You should let go. And this letting go, yes, you need a willpower. And what is actually willpower? It is nothing but the intellect which is sharpened, very sharp, can slice through things. You separate things, slice the things, and give it up. So when Swami Satyamayananda, he was absent for a long time from Dakshineshwar. And Sri Ramakrishna says, "Oh, I heard that now you're studying Vedanta. That's good. But what does Vedanta say? Brahman alone is real and the world is unreal, isn't it? Does it say anything more?" "No, sir." "So why don't you give up the unreal?" That was that. So we will say Brahman alone is real and the universe is unreal. Well, this unreality doesn't seem to be going away because we have been holding on to it. And that's why even Sri Ramakrishna says that kind of a stone is being in the river bed for thousands of years and water has been flowing on it, but not the rock, the stone doesn't get wet in the sense of no water penetrates it. So certain minds are kind of closed. They are not open to this kind of challenge. You need to challenge yourself at every step. In this Jnana Yoga. Challenge your perception, challenge your memories, challenge what you see, challenge what you think you are. Yeah, you think you are so and so? Challenge it. Challenge it, and then you'll find, oh, I'm not what I seem to be. This is discrimination. Okay? So the generality of people will like kind of take a kind of a circuitous path to the divine. They also say, Sri Ramakrishna also say, those who are kind of cut out for this path of discernment, of analysis, their body type itself is different. They have a different body type, a structure. And those who are, oriented towards this kind of a slow, devotional practice, their body type is different. So the primary ones, the ones who take the path of knowledge, of discrimination, of discernment, they are more like they are inclined towards the worship of Shiva. And those who are kind of the devotional temperament, they are the worshippers of Vishnu. Vishnu is the God of kind of preservation. Take things easy, don't worry. And you see Vishnu taking it easy. He's lying down there in heaven. Oh God. We are all suffering and struggling and dying here. This guy is taking it easy, he's saying to sleep. And the Divine Mother is kind of giving him some foot massage. Imagine. So, Shiva is meditating there in the Himalayas. So it's a characteristic. So very easily these things can be noted for ourselves. Generally we'll see, oh, you see, the world is unreal. Yeah, from my skin, outside, all the world is unreal. But from this here, I'm real. No. That also has to go. That is the mistake we do. Oh, the world is unreal, yeah. One particular kind of monk had come, and he wasn't very dedicated monk, and so he started giving explanations about his behavior. So Sri Ramakrishna says, I spit on such Vedanta. That is, he is taking himself for real and the universe as unreal. So, say discrimination means to know the distinction between the real and the unreal. What is unreal and what is real? So he said, God alone is real and permanent substance. All else is illusory and impermanent. So, the distinction has been made here. Yeah. Is this distinction kind of, oh, he has said it? No, this is thousands and thousand year old kind of experiences by sages and saints. They have seen that it is so. And thank God for science today, we are coming down to a kind of a understanding that this solid looking nature might not be solid at all. At all. Something is appearing in our consciousness which is not really there. It is more like a mirage. You are seeing it, but that thing, whatever you see, that water, is non-existent. So even if you look at it from the very physical standpoint, so everything is hollow and empty. There is no color outside, and yet we see color. And so many things are there that our senses are kind of deceiving us, showing us something which is not there. And why are we then not waking up from this illusion? So Sri Ramakrishna in another place is saying, repeated births in this world of illusion has given us that kind of idea that this world is real. We have come here many times and we have gone many times. And all those kind of old ideas are still there in us. It's like you write a poem today, okay, and tomorrow you're going to recite that poem, and day after on kind of in your local club, and then day after tomorrow you're going to recite it on some national television, and then you get some international kind of audience. What happened? You are just kind of expanding on something you had done. So that international poet is the effect of that poem. That person wrote it while he's contemplating. So similarly, we also, whatever we have done, we are the results of what we have done, what we have thought. And the initial premise itself is wrong. This world is real. And we keep on believing and believing and believing and believing. Till it's very difficult to eradicate that belief. Only, they say, by the grace of God, this whole thing becomes. When Swami Vivekananda first goes to Sri Ramakrishna, Sri Ramakrishna was very pleased. Oh, kind of such a perfect candidate, perfect student. And he touches it. And then Swami Vivekananda says, I seen with my open eyes the doors, the floor, the walls, the windows, all whirling and merging into a void. And my individuality, I also was merging in that void. And I cried out. He thought, merging of the individuality is death. What are you doing to me? I got my father down. So Sri Ramakrishna laughs like that. That brings everything back. Oh, it's just that? Yeah. So what happened? Well, all his cognitions that this world was like that, it's all gone. Sri Ramakrishna one time also, he saw a small flame in the center of his room. And that flame keeps on growing and growing and growing and growing and growing, covers the whole universe. He starts with that. Now you remember what? Something like that, Big Bang, something like that? Starts at one point, and one time Swami Turiyananda, he was during his itinerant days as a monk in somewhere in North India. And he saw people, everybody is doing something useful in their life. Only he was like a vagabond, wandering about, with doing nothing. So he got kind of depressed. And at night he fell asleep. And thinking about all this thing, everybody is doing something useful while I am just wandering about and doing nothing. So he slept, and in that sleep he dreamt. He dreamt something come out of him. And slowly it covers the whole universe. And then a voice he heard inside. One grain of truth covers the whole world of illusions. Get up. Hey, there it is. That's the idea. If you have one grain of truth, if you have held on to one aspect of the reality, this is it. That is enough to dismiss this whole thing. Yeah. But like I said, it has to be done in grades. First grade, second grade, third grade, fourth grade. Okay? Then when you come to the highest grade, you dismiss even the personal God. Yeah, even that is dismissed. You've got to be extremely brave, extremely strong. You just can't be kind of you can't go to halfway and say, oh, it's okay. No. You know what happened when Sri Ramakrishna was asked to plunge into the highest samadhi? He's trying repeatedly, and then the form of the Divine Mother emerges. Oh. And that form of the Divine Mother, which he had worshipped for so long, which he had loved, which he had prayed to, which he had cried to, that beautiful form emerged. So he tells his teacher, his guru, no, it can't be done. What? What do you mean it cannot be done? Here. Then he finds a shroud of glass, broken glass, and he puts the point here between the ear. He presses it until the skin breaks it. Concentrate your mind here on this pain, here. And Sri Ramakrishna once again does it, and then the form of the Divine Mother comes, appears, and he cuts her into two with the sword of knowledge. And then his mind soared into that highest samadhi called the Nirvikalpa Samadhi. Yeah. So it's not only discriminate about the world and discriminate about your existence, what is real in me, but also all your beliefs and all your worship and everything has to be, including God. Can you cut God? Yeah, you can cut. You have to dismiss God. In fact, God kind of, the personal God, steps away from your path. Okay. So this is if you think like we are only in what we see is this world, and that's the only existence. Now it has been shown how a small virus can take the whole world by storm, taking it down, bringing down all your institutions and all your big economies and this and that and travel. Oh, you are so proud. Yeah, let me see what you are. It'll take you down, and that's what. So just because we don't see it doesn't mean that they don't exist. Similarly, there are many levels of existence above this world. Subtle and subtler and subtler existences. We are not on one existence. We must think that, yeah, we are in a huge, you can say, scheme of existence at various levels. That virus, it doesn't understand what are humans and what are. They don't have the brains also. Oh, I'm getting into this kind of human. Okay, no, they don't understand that. They are living their own existence. They are living their lives, and that's what's happening. So similarly, there are existences, higher and higher existences. We are talking just lower, but higher existences, where all these beings dwell. The various gods and goddesses and perfected beings, as they say. Bhur, Bhuva, Suha, Maha, Jana, Tapa, Satya, all these kind of huge. And there are these nether worlds also. There is huge worlds. So we don't see them, so they don't exist. Yeah. We don't see the coronavirus, so we won't exist. So we use this intellect of ours, like where that's the closest thing. I remember once we were all sitting. We were asking. My guru was there, and then we have a long course of studies, and they were saying, what's the use of all these studies and this and that? Why don't we get down to the basics? God is real and the universe is unreal. Why do you need to? So he smiled. We are like, he knows what escapism is. So he smiled. He said, to make your intellect sharp, you need to study. Yeah. So that is what. It's not memorizing, it's understanding things. And that's what. So in the Kata Upanishad, it said, Drishyatetva Grahya Buddhya. It is seen by an intellect which is sharp and one-pointed and which is subtle. Sukshmaya Sukshmadarshini.
Mm.
So, here we are, the mind becomes so fine. Because you see, the mind unrestrained is a cause of bondage and restrained is a cause of freedom. Simple as that. You don't have to do anything more. You already have an instrument for freedom. So should I acquire this discernment? No, you don't need to acquire. You already have it. Keep on polishing it, honing it, kind of sharpening its kind of point where you can cut through these things. So this is what he says. One cannot, God alone is the real and permanent substance. All else is illusory and impermanent. What about my loves and lives and this and that? All. He qualifies them with all. Can I? There's a story, about in the Sri Ramakrishna. A friend goes to another friend, and both haven't met for a very long time. So this friend, she said, "Oh, I'm so delighted that you've come after a long time. Let us go dance." Now this friend, she was a kind of a weaver. She used to weave cloth from thread. She had different colored threads. So let me get you something to eat. And she goes to the next room and she gets, and then she notices that amongst all those different colored thread, one bundle of that, one kind of thing, it's missing. So what happened? Her friend was kind of greedy or kind of, she takes that and hides it under her armpit. Yeah. So the friend notices now she wants that what she's held under the arms should drop. So he's saying, "Come, I'm so happy, let's dance." And he's saying, "Okay." Then he was dancing. "What is this?" "See, you must dance with both hands up." Because her friend is dancing with one hand up and one hand raised one. So the dancing, no, you don't press me so much. This is the only limit I can know of dancing. So we have something there hidden, and okay, yeah. No, you cannot have all those kind of secretive things there in you and say, "I want to know God." Well, you better then let go. That's the idea. The magician alone is real. His magic is illusory. Yeah, it's kind of. When you go for a magic show, you know you're going for a magic show. You're not come for a football match. That you know. Okay, you go. And you're prepared to see magic. You're paying for it to see. Paying for it. Yeah. And now, when the magician is kind of showing the tricks, wow! He's actually seeing those tricks. He is not seeing that magic. Somewhere deep down he's saying, yeah, this is magic. But the magic is, for that time being, it's real. How did he do it? Wow! How is it that he was here and he ended up there? Oh! Well, that's what you paid for, to see this magic. Enjoy it now. So similarly, Sri Ramakrishna says, after the show, of course, then, oh, wonderful, kind of, yeah. But it has made a very deep impression in the mind. That is real magic. What do you mean real magic? There is no such thing as real magic. You mean magic is kind of real and unreal magic? It's both. It's all unreal. You go out impressed. That's a kind of a real magician. But we forget, we fail to understand, if there is no magician,
There's no magic.
there is no magic. So God is the magician. He created the magic of the world. And see how we're enjoying it. And weeping in it, crying sometimes, shouting at it, screaming at it. And God is he's having the last laugh. Amazing. So this illustration is kind of very apt. As something has come out of something, of nothing. Is there nothing? It's not nothingness. Nothingness means, something cannot come out of nothing. That it's they say it is kind of, it's counterintuitive in the sense of, something should come out of something. We know. That's a lie. Many things can come out of nothing. The whole universe has come out of nothing. From that one point of singularity, one or even less than an atom. There was no atom also there, of course. Otherwise it will be another contradiction. So the whole thing has come out of, so what they call as void, shunyata in Buddhism. It's a field of possibilities. Something is there and from there emerges all these things. Got it? So something does come out of nothing. It's not something coming out of something. No. In philosophy and metaphysics, you have to give up your common sense. Yeah. Sometimes your common sense kind of deludes you. For so long we were thinking the earth is in the center of the universe. See how stupid we were? Then somebody told us, no, the sun is the center of the solar system at least, not in the universe. Oh, then we corrected our way of thinking. Then somebody said, the earth is flat, you see? See, exactly flat. The ancient Greeks, they used a similar measured poles and they placed it at equidistance and they seen, that middle pole is kind of slightly higher. That means there's a curvature. And the Alexandrian Greeks, they understood the earth is kind of round and they measured the circumference. Even the ancient Indians, they had measured all these things. But some people, it looks flat to me.
It is still an argument.
It is. It's an argument of fools. So it appears that way. It is not so. So this world appears in front of us, but it is not so. Suppose we have a spoonful of neutron star material. We will pour it down and it will pass straight through the earth. But what about the solid looking earth? The earth is not solid. Matter is not solid. It's all empty space.
Yeah, it's like 99.9.
Yeah, so there it is. Everything is empty. And that emptiness is, what is this emptiness? Or the classical physics, that Newtonian physics, it's there. But go down inside and find it's all the quantum. The whole world is quantum. So is this what we see illusion and that is real, the quantum world? Or the quantum world is real and this is something else? What is that? But one thing is that it's appearing as different from what really exists. Okay? So when you say there are two ways, one is the path of discrimination, the other is that of love. Yeah, and we will go down for love later on. Discrimination means to know the distinction between the real and the unreal. And like I said, to know, and they said to know, it has to become part of your experience. Oh, you see that guy, he knew. What do you mean he knew? Now you have to base your experience on that guy's experience. Well, let's see. It has to be reduplicated. It's not a scientific, you can say, discovery if it's not duplicated. Yeah, reduplicated across time. It has to be re-demonstrated over and over. Okay, this is a fact now. Oh, you know, that guy, he's seen the world as illusory and God alone is real. But you see, we can't do that. Well, no, that guy could do it, you can do it too. So you begin your search, basing your search on the first, you can say, structure or the methodology of that person. That person did it like that. We'll follow it to a certain extent and we'll see for ourselves. And then, like I said, that knowing, that comes from that intellect, that buddhi, as they say. That buddhi became bodh. It's a long story, but doesn't matter. We'll get sidetracked from. So the magician alone is. So the magicians never tell. No? You know? Magicians never tell. How did you do that? Well, you know, don't you know? Magicians never tell. You become their pupil, and then they, oh my God, is that all? Yeah. What happened? We divert their attention, give them something else to look at and engage in, and we do something else. Wow! So our attention has been diverted. And we are seeing that's like
It's called a psychological moment.
yeah, it's as they say that it is the Upanishads say Paranchikani Vartana, the self-existent Lord Swayambhu made the senses go outward. So he's kind of diverted our attention. That's why we don't look inside. Okay. So then you say discrimination and renunciation. Renunciation. Like I give you the example of Turyananda. Oh, you're studying Vedanta, I see. Why don't you give up that unreal then? Yeah, and psychologically what it means? You will give up all things that we have been holding on to as dear. Oh, everything, this is kind of valuable to me. This is precious to me. This will be needed, and that will be needed. And then you keep on, it gets piled up, and then after a while, after a few years, it's just junk. And it keeps on and on and on and on. Oh, I think we need this. Give it up. Throw it away. No. Why? Because that person has identified, he or she has identified so much. It's like a part of me is going away. It's a slow death for me. How crude, how gross these people are. They don't understand my sentiments. They don't understand my mind. How I've accumulated this over the years and years and years. They're so kind of selfish. Huh? I have been doing this for the good of humanity.
I think you just made 4 people leave.
No.
And you know what's funny too is after you do that for a while, you like have things that you don't even know that you had, and then you look at it and you think, oh no, I can't let go of that, but you didn't even know you had it for so long and you were fine.
That is what.
Mm-hmm. True.
And it keeps on kind of increasing, over and over. Once you set it in motion, it's very difficult to kind of revert back. So similarly with our minds, we have been holding these things, certain things about ourselves, about what we are, what we should be, and this I like and that I like, and over and over and over again, it's been rolling down. We should have. Okay. That's why in India, kill the cat on the first night.
The cattle?
Cat.
Oh,
Cat.
cat.
So don't let it kind of lose. It's going to create a mess. So similarly, every new thought that comes, test it with the kind of you can say, the bedrock of truth. Is this true or no? If it is not true,
Keep it.
give it up. This is true, let it stay. Simple as that. That will be your index. That will be how you proceed. Okay, what's the time like?
It's 8:20.
Oh, there we go. We stop here. We'll take some questions. Om
Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Shri Ramakrishna Paramastu. So, Swamiji, you mentioned.
Do you want this continued?
Yeah, you can.
So
can
you
go.
mentioned about